What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Shred Show live with me, Josh Pitts, and very special guest from Charter West Bank, Nick Brion. Very excited to be jumping into our show this morning, talking about some very exciting integrations and implementations. So you're definitely going to want to stick around, crank the volume up. And I apologize, we are just live on Facebook this morning, and you can see we're actually using Zoom this morning. There was a little bit of a glitch, so we jumped over to Zoom to make sure we could get Nick on this call and make sure it's live for you. So if you're joining us live on Facebook, make sure you comment hashtag shred. If you're joining us on the replay, which many of you will be because we'll be rebroadcasting this, comment hashtag hustle. But again, as always, we appreciate you guys. We love you, and we're excited to have you join us for this morning's episode. Nick, good morning, my friend, and thanks so much for joining us on the Shred Show this morning.
Thanks. I appreciate being on here, Josh.
So before we dive too much into it, before we go crazy, start diving into all the meat and the potatoes of where we're going, let's talk about you real quick, Nick. You've been in the industry a long time. Tell us about Charter West Bank, how long you've been with them. Let's get to know Nick a little bit.
Well, I've been in the industry for about 20 years. I've been with Charter West Bank for going on 4 years now. I run the mortgage department for Charter West. We're a small, locally owned ag bank out of West Point, Nebraska, with a large mortgage department. When I took over 4 years ago, we were doing about 150 million in volume. This year we'll probably push up close to 600.
Dang, this is a little increase, right? No big deal. Just a small increase there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And being that you've been in the industry as long as you have, I mean, what got you started in this industry? When did you get started in the industry?
I started in the industry back in 2000, 2001, right in there.
Nice. And what got you into the industry? You said mortgage. I want to go in the mortgage industry. Sounds like a lot of fun. I'm just going to make it happen.
You know, actually, it was the thrill of the kill. You know, to be honest, it's a happening industry. There's always activity going on. It's one of those things where keeps you on your toes. No transactions the same. You know, everything's unique.
If nothing else, it keeps us on our toes, especially right now with all the changes, all the things that are happening in our industry. Holy cow, it definitely keeps us on our toes. And I think it's one of the reasons, Nick, that honestly, that I enjoy it so much. Like you said, no transaction is ever the same. Things are always evolving. We're always adapting. So it does keep us on our toes. And I think it's a ton of fun. And one of the reasons we're actually talking about that this morning is we're talking about changes, implementation, integrations that are happening throughout the industry. And you guys there at Charter West Bank, you use Byte. And for those who aren't familiar with the Byte system, can you maybe give just a general overlay what the Byte system is?
Yeah, the Byte system is our LOS system that you know, you take your applications, everything like that on, and you know, Byte's you know, in my opinion, is kind of a dummy down version of Encompass. It's you know, it's a user friendly version. You know, I can take any LO. I like the system just because I can take any LO that's been on any system, and within a half a day I can make them fluent on Byte. It just works good. It does have its drawbacks, you know. I mean, it doesn't play well with others when you try to do implementation of other products and stuff like that with it, but you eventually get through it.
That was literally probably one of the best. I mean, I've seen a lot of explanations and kind of like overviews of what Byte is. That was literally probably one of the best explanations I've ever heard, like Byte explained. And our good friends at Byte and Encompass, like there's some great LOSs within the entire industry, but Byte really is kind of a simplified version of Encompass. There's a little more user friendly, but you said it's got its backdraws as well, or downsides as well. And that being that sometimes integrations can be a little bit tricky. But one of the things that we're talking about this morning on the show is recently you guys integrated with Simple Nexus, and Simple Nexus's integration with Byte. It went fairly smooth when it comes to integrations, right?
Yeah, actually it was. The integration actually went better than I thought it would go. We've done other integrations, you know, with Byte that have gone not quite as well. You know, Simple Nexus did a great job of hand-holding us through the process and getting us up and running as soon as we could. So they did an excellent job there.
Nice. And so tell me, the integration sounds like it went smooth. We're going to talk about more of that here in just a sec. But why Charter? I mean, like you said, Charter West is growing. You guys are flourishing. Clearly, over the last 4 years, you guys have more than almost quadruple, almost 5 times what you guys have done 4 years ago. Why choose a company like Simple Nexus now? Why is Simple Nexus such a good fit for Charter West and its growth?
We needed, we were looking at other POS type systems, and as we got looking around out there, Simple Nexus, in my opinion, was kind of the Cadillac of the POS systems out there. In the past, we were using the Byte online application. Um, it was a very simple, basic application, but as you know, technology's evolved, and to compete with the Rocket Mortgages of the world and things like that, you have to have a good online application. And when I looked around out there, Simple Nexus checked all the boxes.
That's awesome. And you mentioned, going back to this integration a little bit, having the help from Simple Nexus to really make that a seamless transition, that seamless integration. Because again, you and I have both, like, we're being in the industry as long as we have and helping run large companies, we've seen integrations go horribly. Like, there are some integrations, and I know you and I even talked about an integration. We won't mention names at all, but an integration that did not go so well. And it was frustrating, and you're pounding your head against the desk, but that wasn't the experience at all. What was it that you would say when it came to the integration? Was it the communication? Was it technology itself? What made it so seamless and so much easier?
Well, here's the thing: is you can have the best product in the world, but if you can't deliver it and get it up and running, it does you no good. And we've gone through those experiences recently with other integrations. And what I was impressed with Simple Nexus was, they've got a great product, and even better than the product is their rollout, their integration part. Travis did an excellent job of taking control of the integration. Was always on point. He was our point person. And if he didn't know the answer, or if it was an IT question or something like that, he would always take point and go get it and then come back to us. In other integrations, they would push you off to other departments. Well, I'm not really sure why that doesn't work. You'll need to contact so and so. Simple Nexus, that wasn't the case. I mean, Travis took point, and he stayed on point from the start to the end.
Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because it's so relevant within our industry right now that so many people are like, well, oh my gosh, like, we have the best product. It's amazing. Like, and you very well, there's some incredible companies out there that have phenomenal products, but if you're not actually able to get that product in use for companies, actually implement it, get it running, you could, like you said, you absolutely nailed it on the head, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter how great a product you have. You have to be able to integrate. You have to be able to get it up and running for these companies, which that's what I want to talk about next, because Simple Nexus, we had Matt on the show. We've been talking about them recently, just because they do have one of those products that has truly benefiting the industry. And as soon as you guys got it actually integrated and actually up and running within your guys' system, you guys started seeing results from it. Would you mind? I mean, from what you shared with me, you guys had some really crazy results within the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think within the first couple of weeks, it might even been less than that or whatever. I think we rolled it out to the Salesforce, and I think within the first couple of weeks, we had 178 or 172 applications just in 2 weeks. And it's everything it was cracked up to be. Everything that we were showed in the demo is exactly what the product is. And our referral partners, our customers, they're embracing it. They love the product. We get all kinds of positive reviews from everybody. They just can't believe how good a product this is, and to me, it's night and day from what we had.
And I love hearing that, because again, it goes back to that whole technology discussion that you and I were having, especially in the mortgage industry, there's so many things that can distract us. And especially as a company, especially when somebody like yourself, when you're running a mortgage, the entire mortgage division, is sometimes we get this shiny object syndrome. We're like, oh, I want to go do this, or, oh, hey, I'm going to try this project, or try this product. I'm going to try this product. And when you find a product that clearly looks shiny and looks really great. You're like, okay, let's give it a try. But once you start to implement it and it just takes a long time or it's a difficult process, it almost kind of loses its luster. But that was not the experience. Not only did Simple Nexus not lose its luster, it actually, through the implementation process, you're like, wow, this is going to be great. And then you actually start using it and you're pulling in applications left and right. These are the type of products and relationships and collaborations that truly get me excited for our industry. And I'm sure you would agree, Nick, just because, again, with all the tech and with all that's going on, we need more simple integrations. We need more simple collaboration between companies to literally be able to utilize one another, help one another, that ultimately benefits our end consumer.
Yeah, no, I would 100% agree. I mean, we couldn't have rolled the product out at a better time, to be honest. With COVID-19 coming out and all the disruptions in our industry, with that has caused, this Simple Nexus tool is one tool that allows us to be able to combat some of the drawbacks of the COVID-19. So, the rollout has been great and the timing's been awesome.
That's awesome. That's exactly what we like to hear. Because again, especially right now, as we talked in the beginning, this industry keeps you on your toes. You have to be willing to adapt. You have to look for new opportunities. And this was a perfect rollout for you guys. Is there any features in particular with Simple Nexus that you guys are really utilizing, or you're really seeing some huge benefits within the system?
Well, I mean, there's, to be honest, there's so many tools within Simple Nexus itself. I mean, all the features are awesome. I would say this is, just the application itself and the simplicity of the application. That's the main thing. But there's so many features within it, like the uploading of documents. With the COVID-19, for the customers to be able to have access at home of the scanner feature that allows the documents to be scanned right into your LOS. Is awesome because then you don't have to worry about them taking documents to work, to scanning them and sending them over to you, making copies of them and getting them to you. They can take pictures of them right from their phone and upload them into your LOS system. That's probably one of the greatest features that we're utilizing right now. I mean, there's other things, the LO's ability to be able to go in from their handheld device and send out a pre-qual letter, to be able to go in and pull credit right there. Any of that stuff, there's all of those great features for the LO, but then there's also the benefits for the customer, and that's the simplicity and the ease.
I think that is being able to create that simplicity for the end user, which is the consumer, which is our clients. LOs, of course, we love it. It's awesome for us. It helps us that we can really have a complete mobile experience for our users. But the clients, like you said, especially right now where people aren't really going to offices and sitting down with originators, they're doing a lot of things from home. Being able to take a snapshot, being able to use some of the features of the Simple Nexus product is absolutely brilliant. And again, clearly it's been an awesome integration for you guys, especially you guys are a bank. A lot of times we think of, smaller credit unions and banks. They're like, oh, they're not with the times. They do things so archaic. They're so slow, but you guys are, that's why Charter West is such a cool bank, because you guys are adapting. You're looking to the future. You're really finding new ways to help your end consumer. So I think that's what's super cool to me as well. Seeing companies like Charter West Bank really being willing to adapt and willing to add new things like this.
I tell you what, in this industry, we've all been in this industry for a long time. And, anybody in this industry for any length of time realize that they have to adapt. I mean, that's every day is an adaptation, in this environment. I was talking to our head underwriting manager, or whatever's been in the business for 30 years. And I'm like, have you ever seen anything? Have you ever seen anything like what we just went through? And it's like, I've never seen anything like this. And it's probably because it just came out of nowhere. When we had the mortgage meltdown in 07, 08, kind of in those areas, if you were in the business for any length of time, you could see that building up. You just knew, what was going on in the industry wasn't long term, and it was a meltdown. With what snuck up on us on this COVID-19, this is something completely just out of the blue.
Yep.
And if you weren't able to adapt, um, you know, you were affected a lot worse than your competition that is moving with the times. So I like I said, I'm a believer in the technology, and I would say Simple Nexus is one of those technology pieces where as we get using it, you kick yourself for not rolling it out 2 years ago.
Right. That's awesome. And I love hearing that. And even saying that there's still time. There's still opportunities. And, Simple Nexus, where they were 2 years ago, where they are today, 2 years ago, they were awesome, but they continue to adapt. And that's why there are so many people adopting and integrating with Simple Nexus right now, is because they're looking to the future. Matt, Ben, the entire team, as they work to bring the industry together. And really, more than anybody, I think I see them continuing to unite the industry through these integrations, through collaborating. So it's super exciting to see what they're up to. And it's so cool to hear stories like yours, Nick, that clearly, like, this isn't just like, we're not just talking about a product in the company that's awesome, but actually having real life stories like yours, that it's working. You're using it. You've integrated it, you're implementing it, and now it's creating opportunities for you in Charter West Bank. And that's exactly what we wanted to share today. So Nick, I cannot thank you enough for joining us, taking a few minutes out of your day and sharing this integration and sharing a little bit about yourself, Charter West, and this awesome integration with Simple Nexus.
I appreciate you having me on, Josh, and look forward to many more years to come.
Many more years to come. And like you said earlier, of keeping us on our toes. If nothing else, the mortgage industry continues to do that, continues to change. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to continue to be willing to adapt to change, be willing to try something new. And Simple Nexus is a great company and a great integration that you should look into as well. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here for the day. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. Now it's time to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See you guys.